dims too quickly. Like I turn it on and then it dims. But we have it, so like especially in the winter, there's a lot of stuff that cross. You can see it in the ground.
There's a spider that's about to kill this firefly.
Safety, so when we're walking, we can just shine it over.
Yeah, it has its...
Why would the firefly just leave?
I don't know if he cares.
He's like in his approach position or defense.
I mean, the firefly is also poisonous.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, like there's a chemical, at least for amphibians if they try to eat it.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the spider has an immunity to it. Just so it's ready. Like you can tell the spider is trying.
Yeah.
He's in good position to strike.
What a find.
I was just headed towards the firefly because of the light.
Yeah. Oh, is he lighting up?
Yeah. We're out here. It's the second week. I don't know if you can hear me too well. I'll come closer to the camera. It is May the 25th. What you're looking at is a cave cricket. Very strong mandible, and it is a species of cricket. It looks very similar to a spider, but you can tell with just a certain amount of long legs, this is actually a cricket. We're here with a big gang of people tonight. It's pretty dry, about mid-60s. We're gonna see what else we could find. We're gonna see if we can get the little brown bat on video, but a really cool find right here. These guys are found in really dark places, really moist and damp places. Go ahead. This is gonna be loud. Let's see if that'll draw some bats. I might have deterred them out the other way. I mean, we're gonna come back. I can hear them. Oh, I am getting them. You can kind of see little dots. They look like a little speck, but you can see them now. This is like perfect. So they are preying on the different field crickets out here. The cave crickets and the field crickets. I don't know that they can eat millipedes. It's very possible. I'm not exactly sure, but it would be very interesting if one of you guys comment below and let me know. Here we have a nice little video of Narcus americanus. This is the largest millipede in the state, one of the larger ones in the entire country. These guys are foraging on all kinds of dead leaf litter, dead plant matter, you know, all that stuff. They're detrivores, so they eat a lot of dead material, fungi. The toads and the wood frogs, I mean, realistically the toads could potentially try these guys, but they have a really nasty secretion. I guarantee that the big toads would spit these guys out, or they would have prior knowledge. But that's how a lot of toads learn, how a lot of frogs learn, from bad experience. So a younger toad who's never come across it might think, this is good lunch. And well, the millipede would surprise the toad with its toxic secretions, and the toad or the wood frog would learn its lesson. They'd spit it right out of its mouth, and they would never go after it again. That's exactly how things work for frogs and toads. But these guys are so awesome. We're gonna keep moving. These guys, I don't think they could be a potential prey item for the brown bat, but who knows. So just another close-up of these guys. here we have the common field cricket. These guys can get very, very large. They can be aggressive as well. They also make some of the most distinguished calls as compared to a lot of frog species. Usually people think of frogs in the spring, crickets in the fall. And that method stands the test of time. These are probably the most notorious feeder insect for any captive animals, and for a lot of amphibians these are still a very distinguished prey item even in the wild. We haven't found any American toads, we haven't found any pickerel frogs or anything. There's not even peepers tonight. It's probably too late for the season where we are, but the American cricket, truly one of the coolest things to find on Frog Week, just because these are a feeder insect, and also just the nostalgia of the noise, and probably bring a lot of memories to the table. They're very fitting for Frog Week. But this guy here is being quiet. He senses me. I don't think you can see his antennas really too good on camera. But I just wanted to make sure we got the cave cricket. Wanted to make sure we got its relative here, the field cricket, making its way in Frog Week. It never fails. Here we find another American toad. It could be a Fowler's. It's really hard to distinguish, and I don't really feel like getting on the ground and messing with this animal. But you can hear the crickets. There's a lot of food items. This specific toad looks like it's been eating pretty well. It's a little chubby. It's a dead giveaway. It's a female with the elbows. And also the way that it sits. The American toad is just so notorious out here. We found one just about every time we've been out here. This is a really important time of the year because these toads are able to start hunting on a lot of different invertebrates that are coming out. Actually, not too far away from this guy is a field cricket, but it's a little bit too big for this little toad to take on. Could be a Fowler's toad, could be an American toad. I'm not quite sure. As I said before, I'm not going to try and harass this guy tonight. I'm just going to let it be what it is. Well, it's a female, so I'm not going to harass this lady tonight. It's very nice seeing these guys out here, especially on this path, on the abandoned turnpike itself. You'll find a lot of American toads, you'll find some pickerel frogs, you'll hear green frogs off in the distance, and they're eating exactly what the little brown bat's eating. They're consuming field crickets, and if they get the opportunity, cave crickets that are headed towards the tunnel. You usually find a lot of mature cave crickets in the tunnel. And this is a really cool find just because every single time I've come out here within the spring and the summer, you'll constantly just continue to find American toads, and it's just truly a really great feeling to see these guys here year in and year out, just that they're thriving. We were able to hear spring peepers too, which was another really cool find, and the last time we were here, the spring peepers were actually calling along with the field cricket, so it's almost like spring and fall coming together. But I suppose in areas in the south and different areas from Pennsylvania, that's usually common, but up in the mountains, we just usually associate spring peepers with spring, and we associate crickets with fall. So to hear them coming together down here at the turnpike is really cool. Then the toads weren't calling when we were here. They would have been calling a little bit before we got here, but it's just cool. You have those two different choruses, and then you have toads that are just on the ground hunting. He just ate an isopod. She just ate an isopod right in front of us. The American toad just ate an isopod right in front of us. Really cool on camera to get, but yeah, she's just being patient, sitting here, catching isopods. Field crickets here, just kind of chilling. They're both waiting for me to leave. The cricket won't attack the toad. The cricket has a lot of different things to feed on here, but this is exactly what you would see in my setup. You'd see toads and you'd see crickets. So it's kind of cool to see them in the wild. so close to each other. Obviously, if you think of Ace and Pius and Wellsboro, they're gonna eat that size of a cricket, but this little girl, she has a lot of growing up to do. So, just really cool to find, and it's a really beautiful shade here. This is a unique looking toad. Once again, the field cricket. Just so special seeing them out right now. Because up in the mountains, you just don't see that. It takes them a while. I mean, we're at the end of May. These guys were probably calling about the beginning or the middle. The growing season's different here. That's why you had the crickets and the peepers crossing over with their seasons. But I'm just going to leave it with a nice video shot of the... I'll end it with a nice video shot of this little female toad. So what we have here, we have a nice little, well, a large house centipede. Because now...
Well, he blends right in.
Yeah, he does. Now I'm getting really cool shots of him running, so he might have just made the centipede chase one of the coolest parts of Frog Week. But yeah, the house centipede, everybody. Look at all those hairy legs. Very cool shot. Look at that.